Hello everyone, Manathrall here. Welcome to RuneScape Weekly Update / Patch Notes. Okay, so this week they actually released Stackable Urns. Now, if you're not sure what Stackable Urns would be, we'll be going over the urn system here in a little bit. Plus, there's also new types of urns. So now all the runed urns are now stackable. This means they have to have the runes in them, I believe. So it'd still probably be one by one for crafting wise, but the 4 skills that were added are divination, farming, hunter, and rune crafting, which is really good. And now that they're stackable, you better believe I know I will be using them like crazy too. So that's actually the main update for the week. It says there's a quality of life fix. Clicking on an unruined urn will now tell you what rune you need. That's actually kind of handy. Okay, so other than that, it goes into the patch notes. But before we go into that any further, I'm going to show you guys the different levels that are required. Okay. I would have to say it'd be underneath other, but of course it is not. So it has to be, there we go, objects. Okay, so you can see here, at level 2, that's when you make your cracked and cooking urn. Level 3 is when you can first start your divination, hunter. There's a smelting urn. And then as you go up, you got your rune crafting. And it goes all the way up. Let's see here. Ooh, decorated divination rune or urn I can make. And then 84 is the decorated farming urn, so I can't quite make all of them. But so if you have 84 crafting, you can make all of the urns that are currently available. And keep in mind, all the urns now are stackable, at least they're supposed to be. So I would strongly suggest making them because it's free XP, it's easy XP, and now that it only takes up 1 to 2 slots, it's worth it. Because like fighting these little buggers here, it's now worth making these urns to bring them in, and then just using the ectoplasmitter, well, tuned ectoplasmitter as a last resort type thing. Or maybe use them both and see if it actually works using both. Something I never thought of trying, but now I do. I'll try it and I'll let you guys know. Okay, so now we head into the live streams for this week. Is Friday, July 28th at 1700, patch note teaser with Mod Shawnee. And Sunday, July 30th at 1900 game time, PVM with Mod Lee. And now we head over to the patch notes. It says there's a lot of them, so we'll see. Or they're just really big changes. Okay, so graphical. The Arc Leather Coif inventory icons have been centered. The models for the modulette that appear in Missing Presumed Death have been updated. Skills D&D's and minigames, an issue with hotkeys at the options given after crafting logs has been fixed so that they are correctly mapped to 1, 2, and 3 on the keyboard. The Bracelet of Clay will no longer consume charges while Stone Spirit is actively banking ores when mining it at the Ithel Soft Clay Mine. The description of the bonus package and sword polishing kit in Alef's Reward Shop and the Artisan Workshop have been tweaked to state that they are not required for the trimmed completionist cape. Mining urns are now filled with correct rate when using Crystallize. Players can now burn driftwood on permanent bonfire structures. The Skeletal Horror will now show the correct amount of life points in the preceding cutscene. Shifting Tombs now allows Ironmen and Hardcore Ironmen to form groups and play the content. They cannot group with non-Ironman players. Players can now get camouflage fragments from urns, chests, and doors in the Pyramid Plunder. That's pretty cool. Quest challenges and achievements. Agaroth is now slightly weaker during the Shadow over Ashdale quest, so that he is now nicer to newer or lower level players. Players can now drag abilities onto locked action bar during Blood Pact, while on pass system. A line of dialogue has been added to the Rune Mysteries quest to suggest wearing magic armor when attacking the vortex if the player found they were missing spells due to wearing melee armor. A spell error in Another Slice of Ham has been fixed. Ariane's voiceover during the Rune Mystery quest no longer begins explaining the Grey Order immediately after explaining the Red Order. Players can no longer bank with Arnold and Piscatarius before unlocking the town fully. Nomad no longer ignores a player in the first fight of Saliske's endgame. Other Cactus Patch has been added to Menethos, northeast of the Grand Pyramid in the Imperial District. 6 new hit splats have been added for players in EOC. Each choice can be selected via the miscellaneous option window in game settings. Blue, dark blue, brown, yellow, green, legacy. And it says for legacy, this displays EOC numbers when hitting an enemy with an ability. Okay, there is also a player option to hide other players' ability damage hit splats. Players can now toggle which hit splat to see for ability damage dealt in 3 combat skills by both themselves or other players. Players can now recast affinity spells such as vulnerability when they are already active restart timer. Players now receive a message for successfully adding an affinity spell to an opponent, as well as successfully binding an opponent. Iron Man and Hardcore players will now have the appropriate icon will appear next to their name in broadcast messages. Looting a GOB Burial Charm will now automatically be converted into Tessie if the player already has maximum reputation. That's pretty cool. Players can now purchase Mazcap reroll tokens for 7.5k Tessie. It is now possible to share boss kill times in local, friends chat, clan chat, or guest chat via right-clicking the hourglass on the beast interface. Players can now reset their hard mode boss time. The attack range on melee jellyfish in the Mazcap Braids encounter has been lowered. Player can no longer add an augmenter to Broken Zer's Godsword. A typo with Rocky the Skilling Pet has been fixed. Duradel is now spelled correctly on the Slayer skill cape perk list. Multiple typos have been fixed throughout Shattered Worlds. Chat has been adjusted for one line of the Whaler's dialogue in imports that did not match his accompanying voiceover. The clan event scheduler now displays the correct month when editing an event. The examined text of Dungeoneering runes has been updated to keep them in line with other runes in game. Typo on Kesti option within the World Gate menu system has been fixed. Typo on the Gushima Teletab examine has been fixed. Ensure that all the text displays correctly when inspecting spells or abilities in the powers interface. Typo in Young Giobi's examine has been fixed. A grammatical error previously seen when attempting to add keepsake item as a copy to a keepsake box has been fixed. The melee variant of the Crystal Shield no longer gives magic defense bonus. An issue where the right side of the friends list could not be clicked if the vertical separator was removed has been fixed. Items listed as always kept on death, including in the wilderness, no longer overlap each other on the items kept from death interface. Skilling sets can now be reclaimed from Diango after keepsaking the item. Camel Warriors will now correctly reappear after killing multiple illusions at the same time. Players can now use the Greater Runic Staff or Wicked Pouch to cast enchant spells. The effective attack range of the Appraisal ability has been increased to 15 tiles. Shadow in the Hills now correctly use their special attack when hissing within the pit of Vraniske. The invite to group option has been removed from the friend chat options. The correct name is now used when inviting a player to a group via public chat. News broadcasts now all line up correctly. Spring Fair tickets and tokens have been removed from the currency pouch. The Magister will now cast Freedom when affected by stuns. The Soul Talisman junk chance has been adjusted to 0% in line with other talismans. The Soul Tiara is now tradable on the Grand Exchange. Caris now works with Scarab Ox. The clickable area on the Corruptive Scarabs in Menaphos has been increased. The remaining count is now displayed when asking about an in-progress city quest task in Menaphos. A typo previously seen when discovering an Aliat crystal has been fixed. The big wolf on White Wolf Mountain no longer spawns inside a tree. Last week's hotfixes. A check that was stopping items from being dyed has been fixed. The daily login check to reset in the sand in the hand limit for the Build a Beach event for free players has been fixed. Iron Man can no longer use up bonus XP while skilling at Dune Fracture locations. Ninja fixes. The left click option of the max skill thrown in Profundus has been changed from Sit In to Admire. The poorly equipped Karambwan trolls within the Troll and Vision minigame will no longer wander off too far. That actually was always annoying because they would always wander as far back as they could. Player can now skip confirmation when charting ships by selecting Don't Ask Again dialogue option. Grand Exchange sets for Bandos, Armadillo, Subjugation, Ceremonial Armors have been added. The Raid Reward Shop now displays the correct price for Terralith, Tempest, and Primeval chest plates. The blacksmith within Shiloh Village has adopted a no door policy. The bank door in Yaitso has been jammed open. The Ardorn Monastery door now defaults to opened. The quick check task text for your deadliest shattered world has been changed to reached instead of cleared. Tool Leprechauns can now store 1,000 super compost, up from 255. Tool Leprechauns can now store 255 planks. Superior Ports Armor now gets its value from its own tradable version instead of next armor sets. Tree Stump, which was very close to Relic of Lodestone, has been removed. The dialogue box with Ellen Enterith no longer appears when right-clicking trading her. Seat Aside now has an Inspect as its default option. The water altar has been moved to declutter the Shattered Worlds area. Dexterous components can now correctly state short bows rather than all bows. So, that is it for this week's patch notes and updates. I hope you guys enjoy the ones that are coming. I know I'll be enjoying the urns. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.